My name is Pamela Bishop. I live in the state of Virginia. More specifically, I live in the city of Portsmouth, Virginia. This is a story about a corrupt police department who is conspiring with a corrupt prosecutor within the city of Portsmouth to manufacture criminal records behind closed doors on the black citizens of the city of Portsmouth. I hired a lawyer back in 2011 to represent me in a fingerprint challenge for a 1999 embezzlement charge that was shown under my name. My lawyer made contact with Commonwealth Attorney Cedric Wiggins. At the time that I hired this lawyer, I had no idea that she knew no more about the law than I did, and as a result, she allowed this prosecutor to guide her through this process. And of course, she guided her to bring me down to Portsmouth Detective Bureau and allowed Detective and Fingerprint Examiner Robert B. Clark Jr. to take my fingerprints on a blank fingerprint card. Immediately after securing my fingerprints, this man proceeded to make two strong attempts for my lawyer to allow him to provide us the fingerprint results over the telephone. My lawyer advised him both times that she would get the information from Commonwealth Attorney Cedric Wiggins. Well, about a week later, my lawyer contacted me advising me that she had not received any documentation from Commonwealth Attorney Cedric Wiggins. However, he had been contacting her office relentlessly, trying to get her to give him a call back. I advised her not to accept or return any calls because they are lying, and we need that document to show when my fingerprints were taken, because it was clear to me that they were trying to create a situation to where it would have been my word against theirs as to when my fingerprints were taken. So he eventually sent the documents. He sent the manufactured fingerprint document. As you can see, Robert B. Clark Jr. is in his capacity as a fingerprint examiner here, and Cedric Wiggins is on as the investigator. Cedric Wiggins also sent his response to my lawyer's petition to rehear. As you can see, my lawyer signed these documents in 2011. So did Commonwealth Attorney Cedric Wiggins, 2011. So we can all agree these are supposed to be 2011 court documents. Well, there's a problem with these particular documents. As you can see, at no time will the courts generate a 12-year-old case in a recent matter. This GC stands for General District. These two nines actually should have been two ones, because anytime legal documents are entered into the court record and whatever year they were entered in, the courts would generate a case number with that year in it. So this was supposed to have been two ones for the year 2011. He also made it a point to transpose two of the numbers in the case number. This 12 is actually supposed to be a 21. He did this so that in the event me and my lawyer were able to get around him and his detective, we still would not have been able to receive any information about the embezzlement charge because the case number never existed. He also advised her that this case was tried in circuit court. At no time would these two things be different. If you have a general district case number, it would say at the top that it was tried in general district court. So you have a prosecutor that's handing out fake court documents to lawyers in cases. I did not know who to contact about this matter, so I contacted the FBI. They took a year and a half to forward my information over to the Justice Department. The Justice Department documented my complaint and referred me back to Portsmouth's Internal Affairs. That took the additional 6 months. So that's your USC 1983 2-year statute of limitations right there. This is my letter from the Justice Department. I contacted Internal Affairs. As you can see, Taja Brooks is signed for and received my package. I never heard from Taja Brooks again. However, about a year later, I contacted the Internal Affairs to follow up because I assumed that since I had not heard from her that the investigation was still going on. However, I changed my mind while the phone was ringing because I did not want to have any conversations with them that I wasn't able to document. But before I could hang up, a young lady answered the phone, and all I told her was my name, and she felt compelled to share with me that Robert B. Clark Jr. was no longer a detective. Now, the only reason why that information would be important to me is because of my complaint about this detective. So Internal Affairs had an internal investigation about my complaint, found that I was telling the truth, which warranted this detective's demotion, but they never intended to correct the criminal record that he manufactured behind closed doors on me, for me. While waiting on Internal Affairs to get back with me, I contacted Mark Herring. As you can see, his mailroom did receive it. I've never heard from my current from that day to this one. However, my current did immediately go into cover-up mode for this corrupt prosecutor. And even though I did not know what the court documents meant, he knew exactly what they meant. So it was okay for him to lead this corrupt prosecutor down there after seeing documented proof that he was more than willing to use the prosecutor's office to go after black citizens within the city of Portsmouth. I will make sure that we are, you're always talking about these adversely affected African Americans as it relates to your marijuana policy. Try giving us a policy where a corrupt prosecutor and corrupt officers are not preying upon the black citizens within the city of Portsmouth. That's what these adversely affected African Americans need. That's the type of policy that we need. So when it's time to go to the ballot box again for Attorney General, because I wasted a vote on you, I'm going to make sure that my community know that you are no ally. You are actually a wolf in sheep's clothing. So we're going to cover your name up and vote for someone else. It took me 6 years to unravel these men's plot against me. Because for one, you never think that the government would conspire against you in this way within the justice system. And you definitely would never think that when you hire a lawyer and they represent you on a case and provide you legal documents about that case, that the documents are illegitimate, especially court documents. So to Joy L. Malbon, not only did you allow this corrupt prosecutor to provide you with fake court documents, but you never even knew that your own legal documents never made it into the court record. How is it possible that you could spend all of those years in law school, pass the Virginia State Bar, and you did not know how to interpret court documents? To Tanya Chapman, my, karma came for you a lot sooner than I would have anticipated. Because a year and a half to the day that you co-signed on the violation of my rights, then you will holler about your civil rights the moment they were able to get rid of you. And then you have your name signed on a document full of provable lies. Because you're basically regurgitating everything that's in the manufactured fingerprint document. But had you looked somewhere other than reviewing the file, you would have known that information. And if you're looking for a competent lawyer and you live in the Tidewater area, Bullock & Cooper Law Firm is not the law firm for you. To Captain Bird, you contacted me back in October of 2017 advising me that this matter was referred to you to resolve this issue. Well, the matter hasn't been resolved and I never heard from you again. I took note of that. People, I am up against a clock here. As you can see through all the conspiracy and the dragging the feet and all of that, the 2-year statute of limitation has run. However, I still have an opportunity here to get my case because the goal is to get my case in federal court under the discovery rule. And under the discovery rule, the first and most important element that you have to have is conspiracy between government officials to violate your rights. I have that in spades. However, you have to go through the state court process first. I have until October of this year to hire a lawyer to file lawsuits on my behalf against the city of Portsmouth and the state of Virginia to hold them accountable for these two men actions. And you have to ask yourself, how many cases have these two men worked on together? How many people have been convicted based on this detective's testimony? How many people have been convicted based on his fingerprint results? Now, I've been through a lot, but one thing I do not like is for people to think that it's okay to do anything to me. So you gentlemen, come out and defend your work. If you believe that justice for all means justice for all with no exceptions, please help me. If you believe that criminal charges should be adjudicated in the court of law and not behind closed doors, please donate to gf.me/u/S as in Sam, Z as in zebra, W, S as in Sam, H as in Harry, B as in boy. Or you could contact me by email at brownstar1487@gmail.com. And full disclosure, yes, I have had a couple of issues with the law in my younger years, but that's not what I'm challenging. I'm challenging this embezzlement charge, a crime that I did not commit. So with that, I'm signing off, and thank you in advance for those who would help me.